News for Jackson and Chief Meteorologist David Heckard. Well, here we are in the start of December. Hurricane season 2022 now in our rearview mirror, and a lot of attention in this month because we got a lot of activities. We got Christmas shopping, and of course, Christmas and New Year's itself coming up at the end of the month. So what does the month of December look like? Well, it's kind of similar to the month of November minus Nicole. Looks like we're going to be talking about warmer than average conditions across really the entire state of Florida, most of the southeast, to be honest, all the way back to New Orleans and the Houston area, and that's for the entire month of December. And in terms of precipitation, we're going to be looking at below average rainfall across much of the state of Florida, especially for our southern areas, that darker area of brown that you see down towards Flagler, Putnam, and sections of Alachua counties. That's where we could be talking about some really dry conditions heading into the month. Now, drier than normal conditions normally in December means a lot of sunshine, so it's going to have some good weather, it looks like. However, that may come at a price here. We do have a drought conditions that's really beginning to step up into parts of the Panhandle. In fact, it does include areas west of I-75 in our local area, and some of that drought may start pushing its way eastward here, especially as we head towards the back end of the month of November. So let's talk about any cool weather potentially on the way. There is one thing we're going to be keeping an eye on in the middle part of December. We'll say anywhere from the 10th to the 12th or so. There are some indications by some of the medium-range computer models that we may begin to see a strong cold front plow its way through the area. That could usher in some cooler conditions. So don't be fooled. Even though we're forecasting a warmer than average month, we may have a couple days that are cooler than average, and we think the best chance of that may end up being in that mid-December time period. But we also feel pretty strongly that if we do see cooler than average temperatures, it's not going to last long. And for the record, the average high in the month of December in Jacksonville is 68 degrees. So we may be talking about a stretch here with temperatures low to even mid-60s across the area, but it's not going to last very long. We feel like the warmth will continue to build back into the region. Let's talk about Christmas and New Year's. I know it's a long ways away, and it's too early to nail down any threats for rain. The one thing we can tell with the long-range computer models is there isn't any significant storm system in sight for the back end of December. Now, I want to stress we're talking about 25 to 30 days away here, so that may begin to change. We can get, though, a bit of a feel for temperatures across the United States. And right now, as it stands, it looks like warmer than average conditions are very likely across much of the state of Florida, say from the I-4 corridor, points to the north, and then much of the southeast. And that extends all the way up into parts of Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. The average high temperature in Jacksonville for the holiday season is right around 66 degrees. If you're traveling, average conditions are expected in cities like Cincinnati, St. Louis, Indianapolis, back through Dallas and Houston. And that blue you see way off in the corner, it looks like it may end up being kind of a cold holiday week across much of the central and western U.S. Cities like Minneapolis, Seattle, Denver, Los Angeles, they're likely going to be seeing conditions below average for the month of December. So bottom line, it looks like it may end up being a pretty quiet month here. A couple storm systems to potentially deal with, especially in mid-December, but we'll be fine-tuning the forecast over the next several days. And John Gahn has a much more detailed look at December in his weekly News for Jacks Insider newsletter. If you're not an insider, you can sign up at newsforjacks.com and get his newsletters weekly. I'm Assistant Chief Meteorologist David Heckard for Channel 4, the local station.